Yeah, right. I'm gonna be like Gloucester. Yeah. Get me started with that. Who I can get, who I can't get. Here we go. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and please remain standing for the invocation by the Reverend Ken Carpinelli.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Holy God, as we come here tonight, we look up to you and ask for your guidance. Watch over the town and township of Gloucester Township, all the members here. May they be safe. May they be strong. Watch over this council. Grant them wisdom and the opportunity to share that wisdom in love. Thank you for all the first responders, those who wind up taking on the responsibilities in the lives of others. Thank you for all your guidance and your help. May it rest with us, and may we use it for your will. Amen.
Good evening. This regular meeting of the Township Council is being held in accordance with the schedule of the meetings of Township Council established and adopted by Township Council, which gets designated time, date, and place of this meeting. Adequate public notice of this meeting is required and presents the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act. We're using electronic amplifying and recording device in order to obtain a clear and audible record and request all those wishing to speak be recognized and state your name and address directly into the microphone. The recording device will be solely utilized by the Township Clerk's Office for the present preparation of minutes and shall be the official record of the Township Council meetings. Madam Clerk, the roll call, please.
Mr. Hutchison.
Present.
Ms. Grace. Here. Mrs. Albright Troxel.
Here.
Mrs. Stubbs. Mrs. Winters. Here. Mr. Mignon.
Here.
Mr. Mercado.
Present.
Mr. Carlemere.
Here.
Mr. Cardis.
Here.
Chief Harkins.
Here.
Mr. Miguel.
Here. Before we go to the public portion, there's two items that I'd like to bring to the public's attention. There is a walk-on resolution for a special counsel dealing with a litigation matter that is in yellow on the board there, if anyone wants to look at that. And two, resolution 88 on the consent agenda is a rescinding of a resolution we had in the previous council meeting. There was a wrong address on that, so that's being rescinded. Now, we'll now open up the public portion. This is for agenda items only. Anyone wishing to speak, please raise your hand. Each speaker is entitled to 3 minutes. There's a total of 15 minutes during the first public portion. Ms. Smith.
Hi, good evening, Council.
Good
My
evening.
name is Shaughnessy Smithman. I live in the SDK Millbridge Gardens apartment complex in apartment 341. It's located on Millbrook Court that runs parallel next to Kelly Driver Road, identified as Kelly Driver Lane on the New Jersey Transit bus schedule. Good evening, Council.
Okay.
Am I permitted to ask what the agenda item 2304099 is? I previously asked at, I believe it was like a zoning board agenda meeting, and they said to ask the mayor.
What was that resolution, last three digits?
099?
Oh, 099, okay. There's a litigation matter between A3 Industrial LLC and 1000 Williamstown, New Jersey LLC. Our conflict attorney, which is Archer Griner, has a conflict, and Mr. Carlemere has provided us with the firm's name Brown and Connery. They were determined to meet their qualifications required by council and will be appointed upon the passage of this resolution.
Nobody told me what the 1000 Williamstown LLC business is. What type of, I don't know. My name is Shaughnessy Smithman. I have no idea what that is.
They own the property there.
What type of business is it?
They submitted a warehouse application, but they own the property there. There's no business there.
I don't know. I know that it was moved from the agenda meetings to the council meetings, and then I did not see it at the, I did not attend any of the council meetings in the month of March 2023. But I had heard nothing of what the business was.
Okay, this matter did not come before council in the month of March. So this is a litigation matter appointing a special counsel, a conflict counsel regarding this litigation.
And is it going to be discussed tonight?
If there's questions amongst our colleagues, but we're voting on this tonight to appoint a special counsel.
You're appointing a special counsel to, I mean, what is the litigation?
We're being sued, okay, by these two parties. So we need to get another attorney. So we need to get a conflict attorney, and our conflict attorney has a conflict.
Okay, do they post any of this information anywhere for the public to read it? Someone that does not have access to the internet?
This is a walk-on. This came on later on this afternoon. We
Okay.
were not able, a walk-on is when we were not able to put it on the agenda for Thursday. So that's why I made mention of it at the beginning of the meeting, gives any opportunity for someone to speak on it as you're doing right now.
I'm not speaking, I have no idea what it is. I've been seeing it posted and moved from the agenda meetings to the council meetings, but I'm unaware of what it is altogether.
Ms. Smith, and this was not on the planning board agenda at all.
It was moved from,
Yeah, Mr. Carl, may I comment, then your time is up, Mr. Smith.
Go ahead. Just very briefly, the matters is, if the matter goes forward, it still goes forward at the appropriate planning board or zoning board. But what has happened is the applicants, 1000 Williamstown, New Jersey, because it is not gone before the board, and A3 Industrial has the same type of litigation. They're suing the township because the matter was never approved or heard at the board levels.
what matter?
So when they
was-
start their litigation, there has to appoint an attorney's firm to defend the litigation for the township as well as the board. Our conflict attorneys that we have appointed had conflicts in these matters, so we reached out to this firm, and this firm has no conflict. And so I'm recommending that council appoint this firm to do the special litigation matters.
Am I permitted to ask, what the matter is?
Ms.
But
Smith,
what-
I'm sorry, your time is up. If there's anyone else that wants to speak, you can continue. Ms. Coyne wants to speak. Now, I ask people to please adhere to the time limit that we have here.
Denise Coyne, 1060 Choose Landing. Can you tell us what the conflict was with the attorney?
Anytime we receive litigation, we send it to the attorneys. If they have a conflict, they might have a conflict because they know a party on the other side, so they can't be in a conflict situation by defending against the litigation if they know somebody from A3 or know someone, but they just indicate we have a conflict, so we cannot represent the township. So it's a legal conflict. So we have to get another attorney, and that's why we chose recommending this Brown Connery firm.
But they didn't state what the conflict was?
No, they just have to say they are unable to handle it because they have a conflict with one of the parties in the litigation.
Mr. Carter, do they have to state what their conflict is?
No, they don't.
Thank you.
Okay, and A1 Industrial is the warehouse that they want to put in at Target, correct? The Target
They're
warehouse.
both warehouse applications.
And the second one is at the one off 42 Freeway?
That's correct.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else?
I have a question. Am I allowed to bring up an old agenda on this or the new agenda?
No, this is for the current agenda now.
Okay.
You may speak in the second public portion,
Been on Danny Paris,
okay?
whatever street I live on, 507 Millwood Road.
Chief.
Merlino. There was a business on 2001 College Drive that's been in business for 6 years. It used to be Juicy.
Ms. Danny, before you continue, is this on the consent agenda, on the agenda?
Yeah, it's on the agenda because you had it on the agenda of action back in.
No. It
No,
has,
no,
no,
it
it's
was on the
tonight.
agenda.
Tonight's agenda.
So I-
So when we have our second public portion,
Okay,
you'll
I'll
be the
talk
first
later.
one to speak. Thank you. Is there anyone else that has not spoken yet? Ms. Smith, you can come on it back.
Hello, Council. My name is Shaughnessy Smithman. I live in the STK Millbridge Gardens apartment complex, and apartment 341 is located on Millbrook Court. For the consent agenda 2304087,
Yes.
for the, who appoints the members for the Blackboard Lake Advisory Committee?
Council.
Do you just randomly pick members of the community?
People express an interest in it. It's one of our standing committees. We have a liaison, Mrs. Winters, who serves as a liaison to the advisory board there.
I don't drive right now. I haven't driven since the year 2015. Well, even before that, I haven't driven, but I have not owned a vehicle. Do you need a vehicle to show an interest, participate in something like that? I grew up in a lake in Williamstown. I grew up in Victory Lakes. It was a lake community.
No, you would express an interest. You would reach out to that advisory board and express your interest. You're interested in the historical society. You could reach out to them and express your interest. As an example.
I think that some people show up, right, and participate.
Yes, there's monthly meetings. Yes, when did you want to touch on that?
There's meetings, they generally meet at the caboose, sometimes they meet at
What's a
other
caboose?
members' houses. What's that?
What's the caboose?
The caboose on Church Road,
I'm from Williamstown, by the Cecil Inn,
off the Black Horse Lake.
Whitehall Elementary School. There was a Cecil Marina near there, Devones.
Off the Black Horse
Mario
Lake,
Country Inn.
Lake Camp
There's something like
on
this.
Ariel Road is a caboose, it's a train caboose, it's a historical site. Sometimes the committee will meet there, sometimes they'll meet at other members' houses. They meet sometimes once a month, sometimes every other month, do different things in the community. So it's people who show interest in that area that are part of the committee.
All right, maybe I should ask the question differently. How does a member of the community show interest in
By reaching
finding
out
out
to the
what the
committee
advisory
and
committee
finding
is?
out when the meetings are and just coming to a meeting to see what it's about and participate.
But this is not the meeting to
No,
seek
it's a
the
separate
information,
entity.
and I don't have access to that.
You can write a letter.
Actually, I'm still having complications with my address. Previously, it was written 1341 Blackwood Clementon Road, apartment 341, Clementon, New Jersey, 08021. But then I was told that that building was abandoned. The letters were being returned to my doctor's offices. Lord's Medical Associates, Haddonfield Internal Medicine, was getting the letters returned to them stating that that address was abandoned. But it's not. It's an apartment that is, rent gets paid, utilities are on. I've lived there since 2015. They said that I had to change the way I write the address to 341 Millbridge Road, even though I live on Millbrook Court. So I'm still having complications with my address, and my ability to receive a return letter is complicated. But since that has been an ongoing situation since 2015, and I have been attending the council meetings for more than a year, except for the month of March, I apologize, I just did not feel good enough to not come to the meetings. And
Ms. Smith,
How does
can you
one
reserve your
respond?
comments for the second public portion because your time is up again? Okay? It's on the agenda, Ms. Okay, all right.
The three are 220401, 02, and 03. What is that in reference to? Why are you refunding getting money back from the Department of Community Development?
It's 91, 92, 93, a refund from community development. Let me take a look, most likely escrow accounts, bear with me.
So you're taking money back from the community?
No. These are
I'm just
refunds.
asking.
Okay, they're refunds for building permits that individual submitted. Refunds for building permits on 91 and 92, and on 93 is a refund for a building permit, if I may. Yes.
So these are not part of the regular bill list, and as required by statute, they must have separate resolutions in order to provide the refund. The only entity that can provide the refund is this governing body.
Okay. Also on R2304088, so you're going to be opening up another marijuana dispensary on Black Horse Pike?
No, this is rescinding that resolution And nothing has been opened up in town, Ms. Danny.
Now, this is on the Black Horse Plate.
Nothing has been opened up
Right.
in town, Ms. Danny.
I know it hasn't been yet, but it's supposed to be at the old, which is gonna be the old, what do you call it, Giant Fitness, where Giant Fitness is opening over on Blackwood Clementon Road, and when that opens, that will be, you're not gonna be making that a marijuana spot.
That is not, that's that address.
So it's not that address. Okay, thank you.
Is there anyone else? Seeing none, we'll close the first public portion, proclamation.
2023, you drive, you text, you pay, distracted driving crackdown April 1st through the 30th. Whereas distracted driving is a serious life-threatening practice that is preventable. And whereas distracted driving can result in injuries and deaths to all road users, motorists, pedestrians, and bicyclists. And whereas distracted driving occurs when drivers divert their attention away from a task of driving to focus on another activity instead. And whereas from 2011 to 2020, distracted driving related crashes resulted in 32,000 deaths on our nation's roads. And whereas in New Jersey, distracted driving was listed as a contributing circumstance in 50% of all motor vehicle crashes from 2016 to 2020. And whereas the state of New Jersey will participate in a nationwide distracted driving 2023 crackdown from April 1st through the 30th in an effort to raise awareness and decrease driver distraction through a combination of enforcement and education. And whereas the national slogan for the campaign is "You drive, you text, you pay." And whereas a reduction in distracted driving in New Jersey will save lives on our roadways. Therefore, be it resolved that David R. Mayor, Mayor of the Township, and Orlando Mercado, Council President, hereby proclaim the Township of Gloucester support for the distracted driving 2023 crackdown, both locally and nationally, from April 1st through the 30th, and pledge to increase awareness of the dangers of distracted driving. National Public Safety Telecommunication Workers Week, April 9th through the 15th. Whereas emergencies can occur at any time that require police, fire, or emergency medical services. And whereas an emergency occurs, the prompt response of police officers, firefighters, and paramedics is critical to the protection of life and preservation of property. And whereas the safety of our police officers and firefighters is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of information obtained from citizens who telephone the Gloucester Township Police Emergency Communications Center. And whereas public safety telecommunicators are the first and most critical contact our citizens have with emergency services. And whereas public safety telecommunicators are the single vital link for our police officers and firefighters by monitoring their activities by radio, providing them information, and ensuring their safety. And whereas public safety telecommunicators, the Gloucester Township Police Department, have contributed substantially to the apprehension of criminals, suppression of fires, and treatment of patients. And whereas each dispatch has exhibited compassion, understanding, and professionalism during the performance of their job in the past year. Now therefore be it resolved, Township Council and the Mayor of the Township of Gloucester declare the week of April 9th through the 15th, 2023 to be National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in Gloucester Township in honor of the men and women whose diligence and professionalism keep our city and citizens safe.
Thank you, clerk. Waive the reading, accept the minutes of the workshop meeting March 13th, 2023, and March 13th, regular meeting of March 13th, 2023, and March 27th, 2023. May I have a motion, please?
Make that
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. On the question, roll call, please.
Mr. Hutchison.
Yes.
Ms. Grace.
Yes.
Mrs. Albright Troxel.
Yes.
Mrs. Winters.
Yes.
Mr. Mignon.
Yes to the workshop and the regular meeting on March the 13th, 2023, and I abstained from the regular meeting on March 27th, 2023.
Mr. Mercado.
Yes to all. Next is our consent agenda. Any council member would like to have any item removed from consent agenda, please speak up. Hearing none, I entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented.
So move.
Second,
On the question, Roll call, please.
Mr. Hutchison,
Yes.
Miss Grace.
Yes.
Mrs. Albright Troxel,
Yes.
Mrs. Winters.
Yes.
Mr. Mignon,
Yes.
Mr. Mercado.
Yes, Chief, I'll get to you after the regular agenda. Regular agenda resolution 2304-098. I entertain a motion
Second.
on the question. Roll call, please.
Mr. Hutchison,
Yes.
Miss Grace.
Yes.
Mrs. Albright Troxel,
Yes.
Mrs. Winters.
Yes.
Mr. Mignon.
Yes.
Mr. Mercado.
Yes. Chief, can you tell us what you have here before we go to our second public portion?
Yeah, we will.
Oh, I got a walk on. Hold on, I'm sorry. Sorry, Chief.
No worries.
Oh, thank you, Councilman Hutchinson. Resolution 2304-099, resolution Township Council of Township of Gloucester County, Camden State, New Jersey, appointing Brown and Connery LLP for special counsel, special litigation services. May I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
On the question, roll call, please.
Mr. Hutchison,
Yes.
Miss Grace.
Yes.
Mrs. Albright Troxel,
As explained earlier, I vote yes.
Mrs. Winters.
Yes.
Mr. Mignon.
Yes.
Mr. Mercado.
Yes. Yeah, Chief, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Hutchinson.
Thank you, Mr. President. So today we were honored with a presentation by the New Jersey State Association of Chiefs of Police. That is what's on display over here for our certificates of accreditation. Mayor was present, Councilwoman Troxel was here to represent council. And so this is the culmination of 2-year process for we're the first agency to receive both the agency accreditation and our public safety answering point dispatch center accreditation. We're the first agency in the state of New Jersey to receive this at the same time. So it was worked on by a great many of our staff today. We had a formal presentation where representatives from the New Jersey State Association of Chiefs of Police came down, the executive director and the accreditation director. So I want to take a moment to thank you. If you recall, probably, I don't remember the date, but about 2 years ago, I came to you with the request for a funding expenditure to allow us to get a consultant in to get this process. It took 2 years. And it was successful. Without that funding, we wouldn't have been able to do it probably for another year or so at least, if at all, because the guidance that we needed. So we were able to reduce down. We did a full audit of our evidence room, everything. We have procedures in place. And this is an accreditation that's good for 3 years. However, during the 3 years, we also have to do proofs throughout the year, through the time to show that we are following along with the assessments. We had an outside assessor come and do a full assessment. It was a deputy chief from Evesham Township Police Department and a lieutenant from Woodbury who worked for the state chiefs as accreditors. And we had a very favorable report, both the dispatch and the agency. So already I've worked with Mr. Carlimer's office to get the reduction in liability insurance started to be processed. They've already acknowledged that will start to be processed, as well as a reimbursement from the Joint Insurance Fund for at least $14,000 of those funds that were originally expended. So again, I want to take a moment to recognize this council, this administration for helping us to get this great achievement. I'm very proud of the agency and whatnot to get this accredited status for both the dispatch center. I think it's very telling that this occurred on Telecommunicators Week. So again, I just wanted to thank you for your support in this matter.
Thank you, Chief. Congratulations to you and the men and women of the department. We do not have any GTE Gov access emails. We'll now open up the second public portion. This is for any item. Each speaker is entitled to 5 minutes. I ask that each speaker please be mindful of the time that we have on the clock. And there's 30 minutes for this public portion. Ms. Danny, you had asked to speak first.
No, anybody can go first. I have other things.
You sure you don't want to go first?
No, I got it.
Okay, Mr. Brown. I want to be mindful, there's only 30 minutes in the public portion.
Watching.
Okay.
David Brown, Mulberry Station. I haven't been here in a while, so first off, I got a question for the playground, which we've been talking about for years for our neighborhood. We got notification that the grant got approved again for about the 5th time, saying that we were actually gonna get it in the next 6 weeks. And is there a truth to that we will be getting it?
Mr. Cardis?
Yes, it's accurate. What happened was we initially awarded it to Little Tykes. And Little Tykes was given the award back in the summer of '22. They kept delaying and delaying and delaying, and finally we got fed up with them. And we told them that we're canceling the contract with them. Since then, we have selected Game Time, and Game Time has assured us between 6 and 8 weeks that we should be installed.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause I know we started this when my son was in 6th grade.
Don't know
Graduated
why,
high school last year.
can't tell you why this happened.
Been quite a
Not
while,
topic.
but we'll be glad to see it happen. So it's great. Mr. Hutchinson, saw notice that you'll be running for assembly position. Good luck to you. Out of all the council that I've been up here visiting for 11 years, you're the only one who's actually came out and talked to me, at least in our neighborhood, about questions I brought up. And I really appreciate that. I wish you luck. Hopefully I'll be able to talk to you more if you win or whatever. Like I said, I'm new to the area. I've been here 11 years or so, but I come from down south where we actually communicate no matter what party you are. And I just want to say thank you to all of y'all for how y'all have been talking to us out here, trying to keep it on par and everything. But Dan, I just really want to say I appreciate what you've done.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Is there anyone else? Mr. D'Amico?
Good evening, Council. Joe D'Amico, Autumn Court, Blackwood. I guess we have public works vehicles that are going to auction. I guess they're considered excess vehicles. More directed to Mr. Carlos. Is there some sort of standard that we measure, serviceability, time and service, mileage, so on and so forth, why they're being deemed, going up for auction, and what replaced them, so on and so forth?
I believe it's a combination of public works vehicles, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chief, there's also some confiscated vehicles.
So that's, there's
That's
six vehicles, separate resolution for the police vehicles from that, but.
And that's an online auction.
So that's an online auction. The 6 vehicles that we have were confiscated through investigations, and they're either not usable or outused their life. Those are for the 6 that we have going to auction. We find that Gov Deals is a good program that allows us to get a broader bidding base so that we get more value for those vehicles versus just auctioning them, which we have done in the past. We've gotten minimal at our local auction. So going the Gov Deals route, we're hoping to get more.
And those monies go back to the general fund, I'm assuming.
So
Confiscated goes to
confiscated
the confiscated fund.
there's 2 separate, anything that goes from a confiscate has to go to our municipal law enforcement trust account, which is kept separated from the general fund. I do believe that the vehicles from Public Works would go back to the general
And
fund.
to answer your initial question, based on the division of vehicles, which was headed by Roman Harrison, he just recently retired. Matt Holshoe has taken over for him as supervisor. They evaluate those vehicles based on what they believe is salvageable. And if the vehicle cannot be useful, cannot run because maybe they're not making the parts any longer, or that it's just so far gone that we can't use it any longer, I basically approve that if the supervisors are telling me that that's a condition of vehicles.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Is there anyone else? Ms. Coyne?
Denise Coyne, I think there might be something wrong with your ECOG system because I did submit an ECOG question on April 6th, and I'm aware that a resident submitted one today.
Okay. It is provided to me the day of the meeting. I didn't receive anything. Clerk, did you receive anything?
Not
I checked personally.
Okay, well, there were 2 submitted, so there must be something wrong.
When did you submit yours?
April 6th at 3:44 PM. And the person that just texted me said she sent hers in today. She was planning on coming and she's ill, and she submitted hers today.
You know what time she sent hers?
I would say probably early evening, late afternoon. I'm not sure.
Do you want to read that or you want to send that to?
Well, I don't have the ECOG questions with me, but, I know, one that I asked was about the grant money received for the bank building. You were supposed to check to see if there was any restrictions on the ownership or the use of it.
Jake Botticello, Triad indicated that it's a 10-year, and it has to be held with the township for 10 years, at least 10 years.
And is there anything in there about it being managed or run by a nonprofit?
Nonprofit, no, I believe it's by the town.
So for 10 years, it has to be owned by the town.
At least 10 years.
Okay. And then, you were supposed to get back to me about the construction of the Lakeland Connector Trail and what impact that's going to have on the 16 lots.
Okay, I don't have that here. Okay, I'll have to get back to you on that.
All right, you stated at the last meeting you were gonna talk to T&M about it.
On your eGov, did you label that Oprah in the subject line?
I don't believe so. No, I sent it on the form that you submit on the website, the form you fill out,
Okay.
the eGov access form. Yeah, in that form, it doesn't give you any acknowledgement when you submit it. There's nothing to say that it was submitted or received, so you really never know if it was sent.
Okay. Thank you.
And the other remaining question is the 16 lots in the village of Gloucester, the redevelopment study. Can you explain how the lots meeting redevelopment criteria would impact the existing redevelopment plan or the recently amended redevelopment plan, which explains why the township decided to have the redevelopment study done?
So you have a copy of that draft redevelopment plan, correct?
I do.
Okay. And in that, it talked about how in 2015 it was adopted by Gloucester Township Council. And subsequently, there was an adoption of this plan for Blackwood West redevelopment plan. In addition to that, you saw that the inclusion of neighborhoods and art district, and talking about the Mingus Run property, which was known as South Winds in the past, but there has been significant changes. So this plan, this amended plan, is intended to take advantage of those new opportunities, and it indicates the core strategy. So you went through this.
Yes, but it doesn't talk about why you decided to do a study on the 16 lots and how that would change the existing plan that you now have that does not include those 16 lots as being a redevelopment area.
Well, when I was reading the plan over again this morning, it indicated that this amended plan is intended to take advantage of new opportunities, which indicated Blackwood West, the outlets area, Lakeland development, and other redevelopment areas in that corridor.
But it doesn't talk about why you did a study for the 16 lots located on the Black Horse Pike within the existing redevelopment plan that already exists.
We're looking to amend it, but I will get that last statement you made and reach out to T&M on why. But I'm going by what is in the plan.
Okay, but here's my problem with it. Initially, when council ordered that redevelopment study, I asked why you were doing a redevelopment study on those 16 lots because they were prime real estate. At that point, you told me that that was what the redevelopment study would tell us. So the redevelopment study came back and said only 2 lots would qualify, but there was already an existing plan in place, which you said that could be used to develop those lots. So I'm wondering why the taxpayers paid $23,000 for a study that appears to be totally unnecessary.
Well, it's an updated plan. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Ms. Coyne. Ms. Smithman. Oh, okay.
Thank you. Make sure I get in there.
Good evening, council. My name is Shauna C. Smithman. I live in the SDK Millbridge Gardens apartment complex. Apartment 341 is located on Millbrook Court. May I ask, are we aware of the vehicles that are being, the government vehicles that are being placed up for auction? Have they had regular maintenance? Since they are government, they're work vehicles, are they maintained regularly?
There is a maintenance plan that our Public Works Department oversees. Ms. Carson, do you want to add to that?
To the best of my knowledge, they've been maintained.
Not all vehicles are regularly maintained when they have
It's
private
possible that
owners.
they were used for parts. It's possible that they're not running. It is you buyer beware.
Well, as a driver my whole life in New Jersey, and I have not been driving most recently because it is very expensive. Not everybody maintenances their vehicles regularly. But you do have two, one a high school auto body shop located on Berlin Cross Keys Road, as well as the technical school. I think the college offers auto body, I think. I'm not sure. I brought it up before, but I wanted to mention it once again. The auto mechanic instructor, it might be very helpful for him if they put those vehicles through their class so they could at least see what a used vehicle looks like when it's been maintained properly. For people entering the auto mechanics field, they may not know what it looks like if it's been maintained properly. They may just know what it looks like. I don't know, I'm not a mechanic, but I can see their face when they look at me and they look at the vehicle and they look at me, and it's terrifying. Most vehicles I have require a lot of maintenance work just to get them running, and it's very expensive to keep them on the road. It's very difficult for the mechanic to do stuff like that. It would be helpful if the students could see what it looks like when it's an older vehicle that has been maintained properly, so they can see what car is actually salvageable and which one is not. As someone in the mechanical field, as an inside journey environment, that has been very helpful to see buildings come down and go up, ones that were maintained properly and ones that were not. The information is it's priceless for the students and for the drivers.
The college has a program, but those vehicles are donated. And the students do work on them, but they have certain vehicles that they work on because they're the vehicles that they're going to be working on when they go out and get a real job. Not police vehicles, they're not going to be working on those. They're not going to be working on vehicles that have
the
hardly
vehicles
parts.
that come
So
through.
just to let you know, and those vehicles are donated. And I believe our vehicles were selling.
I understand
So
that
there's a
you're
difference. We're
selling
trying
them,
to
but
get some money back for the representatives and for the people of the township.
well, you could gain a lot of knowledge for the upcoming members of the community, since it is a work vehicle and the government makes the funds available to maintenance the vehicles, to just give the students an opportunity to see the vehicles, what they look like when they have been maintained properly. Donated vehicles are still donated by a private entity. If you could just show them what an official vehicle looks like when it's been maintained properly, just to keep it in consideration, even if they just borrow the car to look at it and then sell them. So if something like that, it would be helpful. Like I said, as somebody that I'm in the mechanical trades as an inside journeyman environment, and that was very helpful. And I have a minute and a half, a little less than, once again, to connect all the members of the community, someone that has spent their entire life, minus the 3 weeks from when I was born in Honolulu, to have access to the local police and the local fire department. If you could please consider placing on all the street sign poles at wheelchair height, the address and possibly the phone number, but the address is less likely to change. The address to the local police and the local fire department. If you could put it in raised or recessed writing so that somebody could hold an envelope or a postcard up to it and use a crayon or a piece of chalk or even grass, something inky that could get the address onto it. That would help people that cannot write the language because of physical or mental capabilities, but they could get a postcard with a picture, whatever they needed to get the information to the local police and the local fire. If you could also put it in Braille, for people that are blind, so they will know where the local police and the local fire department that serves that spot on planet Earth is. It would be very helpful for everyone, and it would also be a sense of security to the members of the community. They would always know that that is where you would find that information. You don't need access, you don't need electricity to charge your cell phone. You can't even, you're not even guaranteed to get the government pages from the local telephone directory anymore. I tried. They sent it, they spelled my name incorrectly. I sent it back in case they spelled, it's if there's somebody else with the same name. And I asked them to send me a local telephone directory with the correct spelling of my name. They would not. They were permitted to refuse me the local government blue pages. So.
Thank you, Ms. Smith.
You're welcome.
Have a great evening. Ms. Dan?
Danny Michelle Paris Mulino, 507 Millbridge Road, Covington, New Jersey, 08021. People should turn their phones off. I hate to bring up some back news and some bad news, but back in January 23rd was the last meeting I was here. My mother's dying of frontal portal dementia, and I've been dealing with that, and I haven't been able to be here. And but I've been keeping up on things big time. And I decided I was going to run for council, but I decided not to. I decided to become an activist again, like I was in Stratford when I passed all the state legislation and got all the porno stores and the adult bookstores and everything out for 10 years of my life, and passed State Senate Bill 32. So on the PBA planning board, I have it on my phone. On December 27th, there was a secret meeting, like I told you before, but I couldn't find it. I'm going to bring it back up because I have it on my thing.
I'd like you to play that recording of the meeting that I allegedly attended that I was there.
I'm not going to play the recording. I'm going to show you your signature.
You said I was in a meeting.
No, it was a secret meeting on December 27th, and you signed the bill. You signed to pass the bill you signed the bill, you, the mayor, and the township clerk, Nancy Palmer. Is she here?
Nancy Power.
Nancy Power, I don't know who she is, because I don't really want to be a politician after I saw all this stuff. This was passed on October 24th, 2022, when the township turned it down 350 people. And also, it was adjourned on November 14th, 2022. And this was a secret meeting that was held on December 27th by you, the mayor, and Nancy. You want to see it?
Oh, you told me you had a recording the last time you were here.
I have it on.
You don't have a recording because I wasn't in the meeting on December 27th.
Did you sign this? Is your name signed?
I signed resolutions.
No, this was a bill to pass the marijuana dispensary.
A marijuana dispensary, December 27th.
I have the whole PDF file from back to the 27th. And Nancy's signature's on it, the mayor's signature's on it.
You only have, where's the top of the ordinance? You only have my signature.
No, I have everything. No, I can go back, I only have 5 minutes.
Miss Ferris, I'm gonna show you.
But I'm gonna send this to.
There's a lot of things. There's signatures here that I have. Okay, I see this.
He passed the ordinance in 21. How did it pass in 21?
So for the audience here,
Go ahead.
this is from December 27th of 2021, where there is, the mayor has his signature for a correspondence support for Honey Grove Southport,
Right.
which is a cannabis
They passed the
dispensary.
ordinance.
No, this is a letter
Right.
that is being sent to the State of New Jersey
Right.
Cannabis Regulation Commission.
Right.
I don't see my signature on
Not on
there.
that one, but on this one here.
That was from
hold
a
on.
year and a half ago.
No, but this one here goes along with something else that I can't pull out.
You only
96
have a
pages.
signature
There's
there.
96 pages. I'm just approaching tonight.
So I'm gonna tell,
I'll pull them all out.
okay, so Miss Danny, I was not part of a secret meeting, and I'm still waiting for you to provide the recording of that secret
There's
meeting.
no record, I don't have a recording.
You said there was a recording last time you were here.
I have all the minutes.
So you told a story.
No, I didn't tell the story.
You told a story.
Is that your signature on the 27th of December 22?
On that, you don't have the top of the ordinance there.
I'm
That's
gonna
my
get it right
signature
now,
that's
But I only
stamped.
have 5 minutes. Now I have a minute.
Okay, this is
and I
how
have
you
some
want to
more
spend your
orders.
time. Go ahead.
Okay, now I'm gonna switch real quick, and
Okay.
I'll get this for the next meeting.
All right, I look
Okay,
forward to
there's
the
a
recording.
business that's been opened called the,
Go back to the mic,
there's a
please.
business that's been opened called the, Black Diamond.
Hookah Lounge. There's no mercantile license. It's been running for 6 years. It's not in business. The township clerk, Lorraine Baker, wrote on 4/5/23, which I was in her office with her. We were notified of the Black Diamond Lounge is operating without a business license and is in Gloucester Township. Okay? So there's nothing there, but it's all over Google. It's all over advertising. They sell big hookah bowls that you can go in from 10 till 12 at midnight. Okay, and then you can have private parties until 3 or 4 in the morning, and you can do whatever you want in there. It's a separate business from the puff and smoke. Now, at your meeting on January 23rd, you were trying to pass another cannabis store in 2001 College Drive. That's the same address. So why would you try to pass another cannabis store in that same College Drive when they have a hookah lounge where they sell marijuana in that other store, puff and smoke? They put it in the hookah bowls, and it's a health issue because you got airborne TB where 2 people can smoke in that hookah bowl. You got COVID, you got any kind of diseases that 2 people can get when 2 people are smoking out of a hookah bowl. Now there's about 30 hookah bowls in there. There could be about 30, 40 people in that place. And now I'm gonna bring it to, I brought it to the Board of Health, I'm taking it to OSHA, and I'm taking it to the CDC. That place better get closed down because there's no mercantile license for it. So how did a business run for 6 years?
Okay. Ms. Danny, your time is up.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who'd like to speak?
How does the chief don't know about it?
Okay.
How does the chief not know about it?
So,
No, I don't know about it.
You know about that place?
I can't.
I'm not mad at you.
No, listen,
Ms. Danny, we can continue this if we have some
No,
more
but you
time.
can shut down tonight.
Ms.
Am I
Danny?
right?
The
Thank
police
you.
department doesn't enforce mercantile licenses, first of all, and we are aware of the incident. It's been being reported to the agencies that handle that.
Thank you. I'm not mad at you.
No,
I'm just
I'm
mad at the
not mad.
township that they let a business run. Who's getting the paybacks on that? There's no taxes?
You make a lot of inflammatory statements here.
I know that
Ms.
the
Danny,
business is being run
And
there.
and this is why
I walked in there.
this is why I keep asking for you to provide that recording of a secret
I will
meeting.
provide that report the next meeting.
Okay. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Ms. Coyne, has not yet spoken. Ms. Coyne.
You can't answer anything.
The other resident that submitted the e-gov that wasn't received wants to know if I can read her e-gov. She texted it to me.
And we'll try to respond to it as best we can. If we don't have an answer, we'll respond to her at the next meeting.
So can I read it?
Yes?
Okay. Good afternoon. When you read this, it will be evening. I was unable to attend in person last council meeting, so I was able to watch in the comforts of my own home. Thank you for having this as an option for the residents of Gloucester Township. As I was watching at home, I was disappointed to see that interaction between council and a resident that asked a valid question. Because for my thought process, it is that if a resident missed the cutoff, it would then be read and or addressed at the next council meeting. Maybe you can kindly give clarification on how the e-gov question works. Because from what I saw at home, it was not addressed until the resident came up with the second public portion. Can you please go over the correct protocol with regards to the e-gov questions? The last council meeting, council stated that the process was changed during the reorganization meeting, but what I can't seem to find the change on our township's website. Instead, I find the following. 1/3/2023 reorganization meeting in the approved minutes. Quote, Sam Sweet of Ariel stated e-govs are missing from the rule of order resolution. Mr. Mercado stated there will be minor adjustments to the e-gov process, end quote. I also looked at the next council minutes on 1/9/2023 and did not see an update or a 1/23/20 2023 approved minutes, there was no mention of the change. This also leads me to my next question. How long does it take to get the approved minutes up on the website for review, as we are now in April and February is missing? Also, who's responsible for uploading them to the website? As of today, the website still reads the following: use this eGov access form to email your questions to our council members in order to have your question answered during a meeting. Please note your questions must be submitted prior to 7 p.m. the day of the council meeting to be promptly answered. Thank you for your time.
And that resident's name?
Dina Hendry.
Dina Hendry.
Correct.
So at the January 3rd, 2023 reorganization.
Do I have to stay here?
Oh.
That wasn't my question, that was
Okay.
Dina's.
Right, thank you. At the January 23rd, 23 meeting, I had asked to have eGovs set earlier in the day and had a cutoff. That was not changed on the website. At the last meeting, the following day, I'd asked to have that changed to 12 noon. What happens on the Monday, and Mr. Carson will tell you that he receives an eGov and he is scrambling throughout the day, contacting Mr. Carlmer, contacting planners, contacting everyone to get answers on specific questions. If we have the answer and the response, we'll provide the response. If we don't have the response, then we'll provide that response at the next meeting. This provides us ample time to respond to a question. Some of these questions are lengthier than just the common questions like, can you cut my grass, or there's a crack in the road or something like that. So that I'm going to ask, and Mr. Carson, I'm going to ask you for this. I need to have that changed. And that was requested back in January, and it was not changed.
I was told it was changed.
Okay, you told me.
It's 12 noon, right?
12 noon.
Today of the meeting.
Is there anyone else who'd like to speak? We have 3 minutes left in this public portion. Ms. Danny.
I have a question. You, at the Jennings landfill, when I taught college back in 1993 to 2010, there was a very big lawsuit, and it was the red zone, the Jennings landfill over on Ariel Road. And everybody there was a $1 billion case. I'm aging myself because I'll be 70 next year. But the thing is that there was a very big case. Everybody got $395 in case they got cancer. And that Jennings landfill, just recently in 2018, somebody passed a situation, I don't know who it was because I just read about it, that somebody in this township, whether it was the mayor or the council, put in solar panels. Okay, now how could you put solar panels into a cancerous dump and open a cancerous landfill and let everything come out of the landfill? Who did that in 2018?
You want to discuss this house?
No, I just would like to know because I actually put an Oprah report in.
Okay, so the Jennings landfill, by its procedures that go back many, many years.
Oh, I know.
There was this point in time where the state of New Jersey, not only was it doing all its remediation orders for cleanup, there was a point in time where the state of New Jersey took over the landfill. So it's out of the township's jurisdiction as far as what's up there. During that period of time, there was the applicant coming in, private company, to put up solar panels.
Right.
And the state was involved, the township was involved, and when the state determined that the landfill remediation was complete and they were able to put up solar panels, the restrictions was that they could not pierce the cap. As long as they were installing their solar panels securely but not piercing the cap, the state allowed them to put that up. Once they got that approval, then they.
So how did they put in the solar panels without piercing the cap?
I was inspected by the state, but I'm sure they did it properly, otherwise they wouldn't be there.
Okay, because I put an Oprah report into the state to find out about that, because curiosity is solar panels have to be actually pierced through the cap to get into the ground. Okay, and my second question is aqua water. Did you ever tell the township that aqua water goes through well water?
I have no knowledge of that.
Okay, because when they had that spill up in Bristol, PA, and everybody was so scared that it was going to go upstream, but water doesn't go upstream, it goes downstream. It came down to this area. And nobody told us that we should go run out and get water. But the possibility is that we have well water and it could have seeped into the wells. So aqua water, which deals with our township, I think, right? I mean, my area does. So how is the well water? Should we call aqua water, or should we ask the township to check the aqua water, or how are the levels?
That if, Chief Harkins?
My knowledge of this incident, our emergency management office was in constant contact with the county emergency management office during this event and the state. And the utilities, as was reported to us, was doing constant testing to see if any effect on both New Jersey American water systems, which the north half of the township has, or aqua water systems, which is the southern half. Black and Clementon Road approximately is the crossover, whether any of those water systems were having any tainting or any chemical effects from that spill. And we were assured that all tests came back with no effect. So it has been, those utilities reported to the state reported it down to the county reported it to the township with no effect. That's why you didn't get any warnings, because there wasn't any, all the tests were coming back clear.
Well, we did get one warning on Newsbreak about the aqua water because it was well water. The New Jersey American water, which is like Haddon Township, Collingswood, that is sewer to steam. And sewer to steam is from the Delaware River. So basically whatever came through that is not well water, it's basically sewer to steam.
I can only relay what was relayed to us as far as the testing.
Yeah,
being
well, it
done.
came through Newsbreak that the well water could be infected, but I'm glad you said that to us because everybody was out rushing.
Yeah, I understand. We were monitoring it very closely.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That ends our second public portion, polling of directors.
Mr. Barlow.
Nothing to report.
Mr. Cardis.
Nothing to report.
Chief Harkins.
Just want to thank council for the proclamations tonight, especially for the recognition of our telecommunicators during this week. They really do a great job, and I appreciate you recognizing them. Thank you. Have a good night.
Mr. McGill.
Thank you.
Mr. Hutchinson.
Congratulations, Chief. Thank you for coming out.
Oh, Miss Grace.
Everyone have a great night.
Thank you. Mrs. Albright Troxel.
It was my pleasure to attend the police accreditation ceremony today. It did my heart good. I've lived in this town for over 40-some years, and to be the first in the state to have both under the leadership of the chief and council and the mayor and everybody else who worked on it, I just really thank you personally. Thank you.
Mrs. Winters.
I want to thank everyone for coming out. Congratulations, Chief, on the accreditations. It's always a good thing to see. A hockey update. So the last one was in Belmar, the tournament. I think we have 10 or 11 teams. 5 of our teams won the championship in their level. And there are a bunch of teams going out this coming weekend to Pittsburgh to play out there for their tournament. So then I think it's the end of May, I'm not sure the dates, Pittsburgh and other towns will be coming to Gloucester Township for our tournament. So, thank you, have a great night.
Mr. Mignon.
Thank you all for coming out. Please be safe going home. And there was a big race this weekend, a 5K that took place. I'm sure you hear about it in a couple of minutes. Unfortunately, I was a minute 32 slower than a certain individual that's up here. I'm sure you heard about that also. Also, we get an opportunity to go around to see the local little leagues and get a chance to see about 1,000 little boys and girls' faces getting ready to kick off softball and baseball. And with the hockey tournament starting, it's a wonderful time of the year. Chief, congratulations to you, yourself, the department. You never cease to amaze me on where you get the energy, where you get the time. You're also a wonderful coach for our Field of Dreams. With that said, the Field of Dreams will be opening up this Saturday at 11 a.m. It's the biggest participants that we have. We have 52 players this year, 26 on each side. So, Chief, get ready to sweat. We're going to be running around. It's going to be a great time. So we're up at TBAA Field. If you get an opportunity, stop up and get a chance to see what we do. Thank you.
Mr. Mercado.
When I saw that numbers, that we need to split those teams up. Expansion. Okay. I want to thank everyone for coming out today. This past Saturday, Mr. McNeil has indicated the Gloucester Township Scholarship Committee held its 5K race, its 26th annual race, and it netted $10,000, a little bit over that, And that goes to scholarships that go to high school seniors. $40,000 will be provided to high school seniors. That is money that's generated from the Food in the Truck event in the fall, Gloucester Township Day, the Gloucester Township 5K race. So I want to thank everyone that participated. Also thank the Police Department, Public Works, the Rec Department for providing support to that, and the support of the Mayor's office. This Saturday is the Colonial Reenactment over at Gabriel Davies Tavern at the Historical Society runs. It's a free event from 9 to 5 and 9 to 3 on Sunday. That's a wonderful event there. As Mr. Munir indicated, Field of Dreams is this Saturday. And good luck to Lambs Terrace District 5. Thank you for coming out and supporting your resolution, and I wish you the best of luck on that vehicle. With that, I entertain a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.